Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So the Battlegrounds store just got updated, and so there are some genuinely good updates, genuinely good values, and some of them are less than desirable, I'm gonna say. Like realistically, we're gonna break them down a little bit, and what I think, has a good amount of value, what has less value. And what should you focus on? The first big things is we do have 7-star 6 stones now. You can get 10 7-star 6 stones for like 27,000 a week. I think that's fine. I think that's somewhere in the middle, slightly above average. I think it's a decent, really good place where to get some extra 6 stones as you chug along. And that's probably going to be one of the things that I'm going to get, because unlike some other stuff, it's not severely overpriced. And it is something that, most of us actively do need and look for and want. 7-star 6 stones is going to be one of my personal spends as well as there's slightly improved tier 4 alpha economy, where basically you can buy 15 of these things now, and it's going to cost like 21k total. Because they did make them cheaper. I apologize because I bought them out already. So you basically get like 50% more tier 4 alpha. They didn't increase the amount in the fragments, but you can buy 15 of these and they're cheaper. So basically for the same price as you used to be able to get 1/2 of tier 4 alpha, you get 75% tier 4 alpha. And I'll be honest, I'm in an absolute tier 4 alpha drought, but this was not the best buff. Still one of the things that I do need, and it's not outrageous in terms of pricing, but it's not great either. It kind of went from the best and most needed thing from this store. Yeah, they're definitely taking a backlog to 7-star 6 stones as an example. Because it's not a significant amount. Again, to rank up one champion, you need like 3 of these to rank 3, 4 of these to rank 4. You need a ton of these. And I personally, completely buy out the Radiant store at this point and always basically buy out this. But this is not a good place to get it. It's just there's nothing else, there's nowhere else to get tier 4 alpha, so I might as well get it from here type thing. It's not a solid, good, reasonable kind of like significant source of tier 4 alpha. They have completely outdone themselves with the tier 6 CCs though, because now they are cheaper than they used to be, and they more than doubled in price. So the value of tier 6 CCs in this store dropped by more than 50%. As in, like, you get 2 of these crystals instead of 1 to double up on the amount, and they still work out cheaper. I think this what used to be 15k in order to buy out the store. Now it's like 12k. So they did drop the price by like 20%, and they increased the amount by like 100%. That's a lot. That's good. The selectors now are also slightly cheaper and double the potency. So tier 6 CC situation is much better. So with this, it's a decent place where to kind of like stack up. As always, unless you're specifically chasing, one class, you're best off grabbing the generic crystals, because overall you just kind of build up your crystal stash of tier 6 there. Tier 2 alphas, nobody cares. 7-star shards is still horrible value. It really, really, really is. 3,300. They dropped a couple hundred here for like 1,000 shards. It's just a really bad value. The 6 stones, 7-star 6 stones, cheaper than 1,000 shards. It's just not a good value. It really isn't. You shouldn't be spending Battlegrounds currency on 7-star shards at all. Tier 3 alpha, tier 6 basics. They did drop the price by like 600, so it's like 30% drop in the price here, and that's fine. Previously, I thought, this was one of the better values in here, tier 6 basic, tier 3 alpha. Now, I really don't see myself picking these up. I'll just probably pick up the tier 6 basic, tier 3 alpha from the daily deals, from the daily super event, and I don't see myself grabbing these unless, again, there is some bottleneck in the economy. Because they didn't double the amount. So they basically did drop the same price as they did for tier 6 CCs, but they did not double the amount here. So again, tier 6 CC immediately kind of jumped up in value because again, tier 6 CC got the 30% drop in price, but double the amount. Tier 3 Alpha, tier 6 Basic seemingly has only received 30% price reduction. So competitively to another speaking, they're not as good of a deal anymore as they used. The rest of the stuff, they have added tier 4 basic alloy fragments here. That's nice. Tier 1 celestial alloy is cheaper and better. That's nice as well. And you know, the lower items that I'm not going to focus on too much. But you know, all of that is reasonable. The big thing is tier 7. In order to buy this out in like 1 week, you can get 6 of these. So that's like 21,000 fragments. Like 93k of Battlegrounds tokens. It's just not it. It really, really, really is not it. It's just an awful value. It really is, I think. Because first of all, in order to be able to, like, regardless of what tier you play, because now again for placing high in Battlegrounds you get radiance rather than the Battlegrounds tokens. You get Battlegrounds tokens from your daily objectives and the victory track and alliance event and stuff like that. So regardless of what tier you play, in order to buy this out, you would have to sacrifice all of the tier 4 alpha, all of the tier 6 CCs basically. And even then, you could only buy this out like 1.5 times a season. Not every week. So it's just ridiculously overpriced. It is what it is. Yeah. Even when, now there's just no comparisons. Like I don't see a feasible time for me managing my account when I go and say, like, you know what, it's a good idea to grab the tier 7 basics from. What would have been even more reasonable is if they reduced the quantity, but also price. Obviously, you know, better distribution as well, but the way they did it in the Glory Store, where it is overpriced in the Glory Store as well. For sure it is. 1 second, where is the tier 7 basic in the Glory Store? And it's very hard to buy it out. Alright, but I'd rather them again give that like 1,000 something fragments or like 1,500 fragments, make the price more in line with everything else. Because in order to buy out any other item in the Battlegrounds store, it was like 27k per week basically, which is the 10/6 tones, which again something that I will be getting, and that takes 90 over. There just is not enough Battlegrounds tokens in the game's economy for anyone for it to make sense to be purchasing those. So I think that's a miss. I think it would be, again, I think it would be easier to stomach even if it was somewhat of a reduced quantity but much more reasonable price. If it was like, you know, 2k or like, I don't know, 5k tokens, something like that. Because I never expected this to be a meaningful source of tier 7 basics, but this is just bad. Very, very bad. Right. So that's basically what I think of the Battlegrounds store. I think the best values right now are basically the tier 6 CCs, because they did drop the price for 30% and increase quantity by 100%. So this became significantly more value for money type of deal. Pick up on regular basis. I think tier 4 alpha was a fairly bad buff. I think previously you could get half a tier 4 alpha a week. Now you get 75% tier 4 alpha a week. I don't think it's a meaningful rise that reflects the game's economy change. So I think it's a very, very big buff on tier 4 alpha. I think the 7/6 stones is a reasonable W add. I think it's obviously quite pricey, but it's the most relevant, the most significant thing that you can actually get there and somewhat afford to be getting there. Yeah. So that's where we're at with the Battlegrounds store. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next